Welcome to another AMA with Koala Wallet. In this episode, we will be speaking with the team from KDSwap. This conversation was recorded on March 31st, 2023, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of Koala Wallet directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow and subscribe to our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy. Welcome to another AMA today with Koala Wallet. We are speaking with the folks over at KDSwap because we have recently integrated in-app swaps into the wallet. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go check that out, make sure you do. It's very handy to be able to swap directly in your wallet from KDA to pretty much all of the tokens available on the Kadena ecosystem, as well as swapping back from tokens to Kadena. Lots of really cool options and lots of features. So why don't we just start off today with a little introduction. I believe we got our good buddy Afonso here to speak with us. So quick introduction of yourself, what KDSwap is all about, just for anyone that isn't quite sure what you guys are all about, and we'll just go from there.
Hey Chris, thanks for introducing me. I'm Afonso. I work for KDSwap as community manager slash content creator slash developer. And yeah, KDSwap is a DEX on Kadena. We are, one of the first DEXs, I would say. And I mean, there's not a lot more to say about the DEX. I think everyone knows how it works. And yeah, today I'm here kind of to go through what we do, what we're planning on doing in the future, and speak a little bit about the integration, why it's so cool that, you can now do swaps inside Koala without needing to, go to the actual website, and I guess it's much easier for some users. So yeah, kind of brief introduction. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's perfect. So why don't we just start off for a very basic question that a lot of people probably don't really quite understand, and that is the importance of DEXs over centralized exchanges, what the benefits are of using a DEX over some kind of like centralized swap exchange, and just, all the things that a DEX really offers compared to using like a big exchange like Binance or things like that.
Sure. I think the first thing I wanna point out is that there's a use case for both, right? I don't think it's one versus the other. We shouldn't villainize one or the other. And I mean, I think all of us, when we started, looking into crypto and Bitcoin and all the other altcoins, we used sexes, right? There's no way to kind of get into this space without a sex, at least for now. I mean, there is with on-ramp solutions like you guys have, but it's not as easy for a beginner. At least it wasn't when I started. And so centralized exchanges offer that solution, that easy solution to just put in your fiat and trade any token you want, fast and dirty. But there's a lot of risk in using a sex. Like we saw with FTX, of course, but as we saw before with Mt. Gox, MT Gox, I think, a centralized exchange controls your assets. You don't, and so you see there a balance. Like for example, if you buy Kadena on KuCoin, you might log into your account and see that you own 100 Kadena, 100 KDA, but actually you don't. That's a balance that KuCoin kind of puts on your sheet, right? They own all of the assets, and unless you take them out into a wallet, you'll never fully control them, and will never be fully won't be fully custodial to you, right? So that's the difference with a DEX. On a DEX, whenever you trade, you don't lose custody of your tokens. They never leave your wallet. You sign a transaction, and some tokens leave your wallet, another token enters your wallet. So this is the main difference, is that on a DEX, everything that happens, every swap, is not controlled by a centralized entity. It's controlled by a smart contract that you can look at, that you can see that it's safe, and so you will never be at the mercy of a central entity.
Yeah, that's an excellent explanation. A lot of people, I feel like they go with centralized exchanges just because that's kind of what they're used to. It operates in the same kind of way like a bank. But like you said, just like a bank, every time you put funds into it, you are giving up your rights to those funds. So they automatically become that exchange's property that they can then do as they wish. And it's kind of, and people have shown that, even though you have big centralized exchanges and people feel safe leaving their money on a Binance or a KuCoin or anything like that, I think we've shown from the past that even the big boys can go down once in a while. Like FTX was one of the largest things, and I guess a lot of people didn't realize what's going on in the back end, and a lot of users were burned because of that, when they could have saved a lot of their funds by just simply moving them to a non-custodial wallet. It's not really that big of a deal and not that hard to do once you figure out. If you can figure out how to use a centralized exchange with order books and all those kind of things, you can figure out how to use a wallet. It's not really like that.
Okay.
Those are
Yeah.
kind of the steps that you
Like a
have
DEX,
to go
right?
through.
And you can figure out how to use a DEX. It's really simple. It's much simpler than a SEX, in my opinion, because it's like a couple of buttons away for you to use it. Although there's still a little bit of a learning curve in terms of using an AMM instead of a order book. Order book is much more you know natural for a user. But I totally encourage people who want to fully go fully into crypto and have full custody of their assets to send them to Koala Wallet, and don't let your KDA be on any exchange, because there's no such thing as too big to fail. We're seeing Binance getting pressured now, and it's scary, man. It's scary. If I don't have any assets in any sex, I only send some when I need to get some fiat on my bank account. So it's kind of just a on ramp thing, off ramp in this case. But I don't. I wouldn't feel very safe having assets on an exchange. Luckily, I didn't have on the FTX or any of these uh, kind of exchange that went south. But yeah, I urge people to learn the differences and kind of be safe with their assets. There's also, I think we should point this out and make a note of this, because it's not all um, perks. There's some things you need to consider when you get your assets into a wallet. Is that, yeah, you control them, but you're also responsible for them. So in a centralized exchange, if something goes wrong, if there's an issue, you have a support. You can send a ticket, and they will figure it out. They will work it out for you. If you have your assets in a wallet, you are entirely responsible. And yeah, you can open up a ticket with Koala, but if you are careless with your private keys or with your seed phrase, there's nothing Koala can do, right? There's nothing anyone can do. Actually, the money is gone. So you need to be very aware of that and be very careful with where you store your seed phrase, your private key, uh, what kind of transactions you sign. Make sure that you're signing transactions from a reliable source, or they can drain your wallet. So there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of if you are using a non-custodial wallet.
Definitely. There's definitely those attack vectors. And a lot of the times it's very simple things that people have done that cause those things. For example, one of the main things, I've done wallet support now for a couple years now. And a lot of the times in most cases, the lost funds come from either someone saving a screenshot of the recovery phrase, or emailing themselves their phrase, or uploading their phrase to like a Google Cloud or an iCloud or something like that. And those are all just attack vectors. The best thing that you can do, and it says right when you start a Koala wallet and you open it up and you go to create a wallet, the first thing you have to go through is these check boxes. telling you like the things that you should do to protect your phrase, like never share your phrase with anyone, make sure you keep it in a secure place, and the best place to keep that is a piece of paper with a pencil, written down and kept somewhere safe in your home where you know that it's going to be secure and that no one's going to be able to have access to it. That is the number one way. And if you want to go even above that, you can get some of the like phrase seed keeper things. Like there's ones that are made of metal that you can have, that you like etch your keys. And one thing too about the phrase that a lot of people don't realize is that you don't have to write down the entire word. You only have to write down the first 4 characters of each word, because when it comes to the BIP 38 standard, or 38 and 39, there's only a set amount of words that a phrase can be made out of, and no 2 words are going to be the same after the first 4 characters. As soon as you put in the first 4 characters, there's only one possible word that it could be in those selection of words. So there's lots of really safe ways to support to save your information. It's just making sure that you don't ever share it with absolutely anyone. That is the number one key.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that about the first four characters. That's new information.
Oh, well,
I
there you
guess
go.
we're always
Learn something new every day, right? that's
absolutely.
that's one thing about crypto, is that there's so much stuff to learn and so much information out there and new things every day being created and supported. So it's like, people, anyone who calls themselves a crypto expert is just straight up lying to you, unless they are one of the original founders of like Bitcoin or something like that. Then they can kind of call themselves a crypto expert. But even then, we're talking about someone who's an expert in, like, what are we going on here, from 2008 when Bitcoin came out. So, like, that's not really an amount of time to call yourself an expert in anything. And people can always learn more. There's lots of things to learn. So let's talk about some of the other things that KDSwap supports before we get into the wallet integration, because you guys have lots of really cool features on KDSwap that a lot of users could really take advantage of just outside of your basic DEX. Why don't we cover a couple of those?
Sure. So besides your regular swapping functions that you all can do in any DEX, I guess, you have a couple of extra functions like the token locker, which allows, this is more for the projects than the users themselves, but it can also be a method for a payment system. Well, in the locker, you can choose an amount of any token that you want to lock, and pick installments that you want it to kind of be released. So let's say you have a project that has a vesting schedule for the team of 12 months. So in the first 12 months, the team doesn't get any tokens, and then they get like 1/12 every month for the next year, right? So you can do that on the locker. You can select the amount of tokens for the team, and you can select a wallet you want it to send to, and you put the installments, and you can share this with your community so they know they are safe. So that they know that the team won't be spending the tokens before they should be able to have them. Which is, I mean, this is something that Ethereum and Binance all have for a long time, but we didn't have anything like this in Kadena, so we created one, and I think it's a very, very useful tool for projects, and for maybe for projects that also want to pay their their not customers, their Chris, help me out, their
I guess users,
employees.
yeah, employees.
Employees, no, they want to pay the employees. So if you want to pay the employers, they can use the token locker to set up monthly payments, and every month the employee just goes there and collects, and there's no issues there. Then we also have the staking. So we have a earn page where you can lock tokens again and earn monthly, or every 3 months, or every 6 months, or every year. There's a bunch of tokens that you can stake right now, like, of course, KDS, which has one of the highest APRs at 20%, but then you also have Arcade, Doc, KDL, and eventually we'll add more as more projects come up and want to do the staking. And yeah, you can instead of just leaving your tokens in the wallet, well, you can earn a little bit with them while the projects are building and are building community, building the project itself. And you also have a new feature on the DEX, which is the statistics, which was something that people really wanted to see. Now you can see like stake tokens, how much is in the locker, and the volume. So a lot of stats that people really love. I know that traders love to see their numbers, so you have that already there. And we also have some content on the Learn tab. So if you want to learn about how swapping works, what is impermanent loss, what is trading, a lot of stuff that people might not know when they're starting to use crypto, you can find it on Learn and kind of understand a little bit more about DeFi. And this is what we have now. But on the roadmap, we have a lot of stuff coming up for this next couple of months. So we intend to build the liquidity locking, right? So right now, if you offer liquidity as a project, it's the same issue with the token locks, right? You offer liquidity, you put the liquidity up for people to start trading, but if you have bad intentions, if a project has bad intentions, they can just remove liquidity and kind of rug everyone. And so we are building a liquidity lock so that projects can lock their LP tokens, show to the community that they're locked, and gain trust of the community so that they can invest in the project. We also are on the way of building some other cool stuff like advanced price charts, integrating with Swarm's Finance and you guys Koala Wallet. And also one of my favorites, which is liquidity farming. So after the liquidity lock, we will have the liquidity farming, which means that if you offer liquidity, you will have some incentives to keep offering. Right now, the incentive is like 0.3% of every trade, but we all know that impermanent loss is kind of a deterrent to this incentive. So you may maybe feel a bit afraid to offer liquidity. So we're building the farm pools so that you can gain something extra while you farm. And yeah, that's kind of what we're building towards.
Well, that's a lot of features under one hood. Sounds like you guys are hard at work over there. Now let's talk a little bit about the learning stuff, because there's a few things when it comes to dexes that I'm sure some people are kind of like, I'm not sure exactly what that means, and maybe you can shed a little light. And one of those I hear a lot is slippage. Could you maybe explain what slippage is and how it works when it comes to making a trade on a dex?
Sure. So one of the things that it's different from a DEX to a SEX is the speed, because on a DEX you are always dependent on the blocks being mined, right? So what happens is that when you make a swap, you see a price on the DEX that is, first of all, it's affected by the price impact, which is something unique to AMMs in the sense that they don't work with orders. So there's no one offering you to sell their tokens by a certain price, right? What happens is everyone kind of puts their assets, every LP puts their assets at your disposal to trade. And what happens is that you cannot trade like 100 tokens at the same price as you trade 1,000, right? There has to be a function that determines the price that you get depending on how many tokens are in the pool and how many tokens you want to swap. That function is called the constant product function. I'm not going to try to explain it here because it's a bit complex, but essentially it derives the price depending on those two factors: amount of tokens in the pool and amount of tokens you want to swap. So this is the price impact, which has nothing to do with price slippage. And sometimes people kind of mess up these two concepts. So after you know the price impact, there's also the price slippage, which means that when you see the price that you're getting for your tokens, after that, you swap it, you click the button, and your transaction goes to the mempool, right? It's not final at the moment you hit the button. It takes a little while. It needs to be mined, and it needs to go through the mempool and be successful. And what happens is someone else may have bought or sold before you did, right? And if that transaction skews your price by more than the slippage that you selected, say you selected 1%. If someone buys and the price goes up 2%, your transaction will now fail, right? This is a slippage. So if you select a 5% slippage and someone buys and the price just goes up by 2%, your transaction will be successful. What happens is, and why people were urging us to lower the slippage, we initially had the slippage set out to 5% by default. But the issue is that someone built a bot that was kind of front-running people, meaning they were looking at mempool transactions and watching people buy on KDSwap, and they will offer a higher gas incentive to the miners, and so their transaction would go first. They would buy before the user. Then the user would buy at a higher price because they had a high slippage of 5%. And then the first guy, the bot, would sell, and so make a few bucks on that trade, right? Because the person buying would buy higher than it was supposed to. And so we kind of lowered the default slippage to 0.5%, I guess now, or 1%, I'm not sure, so that the bot cannot do this profitable anymore. So yeah, that's slippage. It's a bit of a hard concept to explain without some visual aid, but I hope people kind of got the point.
Now, you also mentioned price impact. So what's the difference really between slippage and price impact when it comes to making trades? Is there like an overall, I'm assuming price impact kind of means like the impact of the, like you were saying, if someone's doing multiple trades, one price will impact another trade if they're put in kind of at the same time. Is that kind of how that works?
No, that's the slippage. The slippage involves your the difference between the price you're getting and the price you have after the transaction goes through the mempool, right? The price impact, you can see the price impact before you even press the button, right? The price impact is only affected by how many tokens are in the LP, in the pool, in the liquidity pool, and how many tokens you want to swap. It's a function. It's a mathematical function. So there's no unknowns, and it's always the same. So let's say you have a liquidity pool of Kadena, KDA, and KDS, and you have like 1,000 KDA and 1,000 KDS. If you want to trade one KDA, if you want to buy one KDS, you should be giving one KDA, right? But if you buy 500 KDS, you're not going to give 500 KDA. That doesn't make sense because the price cannot be the same for all of the time, right? So in an extreme case, if you wanted to buy all of the KDS in the pool, 1,000, should you give 1,000 KDA? Of course not, because then the price will go to infinity. So there's a function, a mathematical function that you use that states that the constant of the products inside the pool needs to be the same before and after the transaction. But yeah, this is a bit hard to explain like this. I have a video on the Learn page on KDSwap that if you want to look at, I go through it with Cameron Bright. I kind of explain how it works with a visual aid and with the formulas and whatnot. So it's easier than me trying to explain here.
Yeah, so make sure if you guys want to learn more about that, go to the KDSwap.exchange and go to the Learn tab and check that out. There's lots of really cool things there. And that's not the only information. There's lots of really cool information there. Now, when it comes to fees, when people are making a trade, when it comes to gas, now gas on Kadena, everyone knows is, pennies, like percentages of pennies on the dollar kind of thing. But when it comes to using your DEX, how are fees paid? Are you guys because obviously we have gas stations with Kadena, so when people are making a swap, who's paying the fees? Is it you guys or is it the user?
Yeah, right now we are paying the fees with the gas station, but we found out that this is actually an issue in some moments, like when there's a lot of traffic and people wanna buy. Like when we released a new token, there were some issues because people were everyone was front running everyone, and if you cannot choose the gas you want to pay, your transaction will always fail. And so we have on the roadmap, one of the points is to implement an option where you can use your own KDA for gas, and so have more flexibility and control when you trade. But yeah, I think it's cool to have a gas station, but it's also cool that you have freedom to do whatever you want, right? You want to pay for your gas and buy it at a higher price to make sure the transaction goes through, you should be able to. So we're kind of giving that flexibility to the user.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense too to offer those as an option, because that is one of the things about a DEX is, again, the user control, and the user has the say on how they interact with the DEX. So just giving them that option to, pay an extra couple of cents or whatever in fees to make sure that their transaction is going to go through in a timely manner. It's not going to get stuck up in a meme pool somewhere or pushed down in the meme pool because people are sending other transactions with higher fees. Because really, like, that's the fees are what determine what the miners mine. The miners are always going to mine the blocks at the higher fees, usually in most cases. So that's always a good thing to be concerned about. But offering the gas station as well, you got to utilize all the tools that are available to you. And Kadena offers a plethora of tools to be able to do these kind of things. So it's kind of good to be moving towards offering both those as an option for sure.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree, and I think I think people should be able to use whatever tool they want to. If they want to use the free gas, I guess for 99% of the transactions, the gas station works. But there's that niche or that extreme use case that you want to be able to select your gas and your price and go through with it. So we're offering that.
So let's get a little bit into now the integration into wallets. Obviously, I believe Koala Wallet is the first. Is it the first app to integrate full integration of KDSwap directly into the wallet?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so. No, I'm sure. I'm sure about it. Yeah, you're the first.
Yay! Now, when it comes to the benefits of direct, like what would you see as the main benefits of having a direct integration into a wallet, as opposed to you just like integrating Koala Wallet on the KDSwap side, so that, or like through a WalletConnect or something like that? What do you feel are the benefits of having it built directly into a wallet?
Oh, it's just more comfortable for the user, right? Much more comfortable for the user. I mean, I love KDSwap and I love going to the DEX, but I'm always in front of a computer. So for me, it's so easy, right? But if you're on the road and you're on the bus, and you see the price of something going down, going up, you want to trade fast, it's much simpler to just access your wallet, right? And just press a button to swap. And I think the future is kind of like that, right? The future is made of integrations and facilitating the job for everyone. So I think this is a very welcome addition to Koala, and it's very good for KDSwap as well.
Yeah, we definitely agree, and we are very happy to be able to work directly with you guys to integrate this swap. It wasn't the simplest thing, because there's a lot of steps when it comes to the information we have to index and show, and how the transactions have to go through. So it's definitely been a learning experience, I feel, probably on both sides on going through with
Yeah,
this integration.
yeah, of course. There's always new stuff to learn, and it's one thing to send a transaction to a wallet. It's another thing to do the integration inside a wallet. Two different things, right? And two learning processes. But yeah, so far it's been great. We have our Discord channel where we go back and forth, and it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and there's always room for open communication with us. So I'm glad that all of the devs were able to make it work, and are doing it in a good way, in a good manner.
Now, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the AMA, for those listening that are currently using iOS devices, we are working hard to try to get Apple to approve our latest update. There are actually two updates behind now. We released 1.2.0 that was the one that integrated the KD swap, and then we also just released 1.3.0, and that is integrating WalletConnect as well. Those are still in review with Apple. We've kind of pretty much just skipped taken down the 0.21, because there's no sense in them approving that, since 1.3 includes all of those things. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that in the next day or two, Apple gets it pushed through. Our devs are like literally checking the Apple Connect and the stuff every hour to see if it's been approved. Just really like anxiously waiting for them to shove it through so that we can start our real promotional push for it. But it's Apple, and they only go as fast as Apple goes, and they're very nitpicky about every little tiny thing. So, like I said, hopefully we've sent them back a review reply just this morning to try to push things through a little quicker. So we're hoping that, fingers crossed, you iOS users out there will be able to be doing some in-app swaps in very, very, very soon. That is the hope. Now, it is live on Android, and we have had some people already using it. We've been following the analytics for the wallet and seeing that people have already started using the swap. So very happy to hear that. We haven't really had any problems, any users really coming to us with any problems. So hopefully, if anyone listening has Android, make sure you're up to date at 1.3.0 and that you are using the swaps. Get in there and swap some KDA for some of these amazing tokens. There's lots of tokens to
Yes,
choose from.
great token for that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, make sure you get some KDS. That's the one token you want to make sure you get, and then go stake it. And then go stake it on the KDSwap website. Now, hopefully, in the future, we can get some more integration and maybe some full integration. We are going to have a DApp browser eventually in the wallet, so that will be able to hopefully give users access then to all of the tools that you guys offer on KDSwap, as opposed to just the built-in DEX. So I'm kind of looking forward to that as well, so that people can do everything from within their wallet and be able to access all of these other amazing tools like the staking or the token locking or all those other ones that you mentioned earlier. So, the future is very bright. We're just getting started, but this was a very good initial first step to get these swaps built into the wallet, because I felt like that was the real main thing to get built first, was to get these swaps in there and get people trading their KDA.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait to see you. If you guys keep integrating, it would be really cool to have everything in like a one-stop shop for everything KDSwap, right? It would be really cool. But right now, yeah, just having the swaps, I think it's a very very big first step and very welcome. And yeah, I actually haven't tried it yet, so I need to get my hands on. I have the Koala Wallet installed, and I have an Android, so I just need to log in and test it out, see how I feel it. But I know it's good because I know everyone involved, so there's no way it's not working well.
Yeah, I did a few swaps already myself. I did swap for a little KDS. I swapped for a little Flux, just kind of testing things out. And yeah, it worked flawlessly. I was super impressed, super happy. So definitely make sure that you guys go and give it a try. If you do have any problems at all, jump right into our Discord. You can find the link on our link tree on our profile here, or even send us a DM on Twitter. We are very quick to respond to support issues. We're always watching over, and hopefully like we can find a quick remedy. There's only so much, of course, that we can do because of the fact that it is a DEX and it is just transactions on the blockchain. So it's certain things are out of our control, but some things that we can help with. So make sure you guys always, as soon as you have any kind of issues or problems, do not hesitate to reach out to us for help. Even if you're having problems, I'm sure even just if you're in like the KDSwap Telegram or any of those channels, I'm sure even they could point you in the right direction if you have any questions or issues about swaps, or any just questions about how it really works behind the scenes or anything like that. Although we covered a lot of it today in this AMA, so I feel like people should have a fairly good use case on how to use it. So, but it's really just up and up from here. KDSwap, you guys have been building amazing stuff and have always been such a great group in the space for all of Kadena, not just for us at Koala Wallet, but for everyone in the Kadena ecosystem. And it's going to be amazing to see some of the upcoming features that you guys have in place. Now, one thing you guys that's kind of out of the realm of KDSwap that you've mentioned a couple times on some other spaces and things, are you guys still planning on going forward with a marketplace? That's one of the questions I was wondering about.
That's not for KDSwap, it's for KD Labs. But that's it's on the table, yeah, for the KD Labs development. Sure, the lemon juice is still on the horizon, and Actually, I'm pretty excited for it because I think it's a great opportunity for us to showcase some of the cool features that Marmalade offers. Like the fact that you can pretty much use your NFT as its own marketplace, and the marketplace itself will be like a front end integration of the NFT itself. It's pretty cool, but we're still working on it. We're still looking at kind of everything we need to do to get it operational. But yeah, it's coming. It's not forgotten. So don't worry, we got you covered. NFT, I don't know, NFT lovers, I guess.
Yeah, there's it's getting more and more. There's a bit of a I find there's a bit of a lull in the Kadena ecosystem right now. There's not really too many new projects popping up, and some projects have kind of slowed down in their development cycles and stuff. But that's kind of expected when you're in these situations of these bear markets, and you're not really sure when things are going to pop off and things like that. So there is a little bit of a hesitation right now, I feel, in the community, but you guys over there have not been stopping at all. You just keep your heads down and keep building. And really, that's just the only thing that you can do in these situations is just keep building, keep getting those tools ready, get things ready for when things do pop off and we start seeing an influx of new users to Kadena. I believe that KDSwap and hopefully Koala Wallet will be two of the major players in that next big push to bring
Oh,
more
for sure.
users to the Kadena ecosystem. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that because I think, yeah, for me myself, personally speaking, on how it has been in terms of these slower times. Yeah, it's a bit slow and boring at times, but it's so cool to be able to do a lot of stuff that you cannot do in a more crazy time when there's new guys popping up every day and everyone wants to know when, right? Those are cool times, but probably a lot more stressful times, and that you cannot really have time to learn new things and do it a little bit slower but better. So I really like this building process, and I think I'm sure we'll be ready for when the influx of new users come.
For sure. It's like you said, it's a good time to be able to look back, look over everything, tweak things that you want to tweak, and just kind of improve upon everything and make sure that everything is correct and working properly and really nice and like flashy looking and want to bring people in because the KD Swap dashboard and all of the things that KD Labs does have been just excellently made, excellently presented, and definitely thoroughly thought through before implementing anything. You guys definitely put your things through the paces and make sure that everything's going to be secure, working properly for everyone, and then releasing it to the public. And you guys have just done a phenomenal job. I don't know if anyone listening has any questions that they want to ask KDSwap or us here at Koala Wallet, but please definitely feel free to send in an invite to speak if you have any questions or anything to say. We would love to hear from you. But I think this was a great way to chat up about KDSwap and our integration with Koala Wallet, which, like I said again, hopefully iOS will be pushing through very soon. We're bugging them. We're watching the store. As soon as it's live, you'll be seeing lots of announcements and media push from us to get more people into the swap and make sure everyone gets updated so that they have the option to be able to use this amazing DEX directly within their Koala wallet. So yeah, it's very exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And back at you guys, I think you're doing an amazing job with Koala, and bringing and easy to use tools for everyone that's new to Kadena. And yeah, I hope you guys keep pushing the pedal, and yeah, I'm sure you'll be here with us when the real influx comes sooner or later.
Oh, for sure. We got our foot on the pedal over here, and we're not stopping. We got lots of things in store and lots of things that will not only benefit us but also benefit the whole community. Because that's really our goal: is kind of create a tool for people that in the Kadena ecosystem that they pretty much have everything that they're going to need to interact with any of the dApps or any of the services on the Kadena ecosystem without ever leaving the wallet. That is the main goal, and I feel like we're we're getting there. We're with every feature and every improvement that we do, we're just getting one step closer to that. And yeah, our teams had a great vision right from the start. Kobe had a great vision right from the beginning of what he wanted this wallet to be, and Brenny, our product manager, has been great at seeing that through, and our devs have been absolutely amazing, and all the projects that we've been working with directly, including you guys over at KD Labs, has been just great. And we can't wait to work with more projects, get more people involved, get more action and more things that people can do directly inside their wallet, and the more the merrier. So if anyone's listening wants to get more involved with Koala Wallet or want to help with their project for any kind of integrations, NFTs, anything like that, definitely feel free to shoot us a message. You can DM us here on Twitter, join our Discord. There's lots of ways to get in touch with us. But it doesn't look like really anyone's got any questions, but if you do have any questions, definitely hit up KDSwap. Their Telegram is very active. You can probably DM them on Twitter. There's lots of ways to get a hold of them, as well as us, like I said. So definitely get involved and be on the lookout for some of these amazing new features that you guys are working on, because it sounds like you have a lot in store for people.
No, yeah, absolutely. Shoot us a message, Twitter, on Discord, Telegram, whatever you feel more comfortable with. There's always someone there to answer. And yeah, anything you want to ask, and anything you want to learn about KDSwap or KDLaunch or any of the applications we're building, just go to KDLaunch.com. I'm pretty sure. Need to confirm this, or KDSwap.exchange. This one I'm sure. And we have our Medium, Twitter, Telegram, all linked up in there, and you just browse it. And yeah, feel free to ask us anything and send us any inquiries you want.
And yes, I can verify it's kdlaunch.com. You're
It's a lot of stuff, a lot of websites. So you get confused at some point.
You got .coms, .ios, .exchanges. You got all types of websites.
I got it right. It's .com for KDLaunch and .exchange for KDSwap. So all good.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming by, Afonso, and updating us on everything that you guys are working on over there. Like I said, we're very happy to be able to work with you guys in a very direct manner and get this amazing implementation added to Koala Wallet, because it's just going to bring even more people to Kadena, more people using your service and learning about KDSwap and how amazing they are. And yeah, it's hopefully a bright future together, and we can just keep building and keep working. So thank you very much for joining us today.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I hope we can do this more often. We've been doing a lot of stuff together, so the more the better. And yeah, we'll keep building together and developing these integrations and tools with you. Thanks for having me again.
Of course. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming by and listening today. It's absolutely great AMA. Make sure you guys follow KDSwap on Twitter, join their Telegram, join their Discord, and make sure you guys go download, if you haven't already, download your Koala Wallet, koalawallet.io, available on both the Android and Apple stores. And if you do like the wallet and you enjoy using it, please make sure to leave a good review, hopefully, preferably 5 stars. It would be very much appreciated and really help us out over here. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening today, and have a great day. Take care.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for watching. We hope that you found the information helpful and informative. Do not forget to follow us on social media for the latest updates and news on all things Koala Wallet. Until next time, have a great day and take care.